Okay.
I literally do.
15 seconds.
15 seconds.
Are you ready?
So ready.
Are you prepared?
So ready. Yes, y'all! It is DCTF Live again. We're going to do it again. Another show. Like,
Were we going to do something else?
I don't know. I'm trying to build excitement, Max.
Okay. Have you done it?
It's Friday, January 22nd, 2016. My name is Greg Tepper, managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football on TexasFootball.com. Over there is Max Thompson.
Hello, Greg.
He's running all the
gadgets, the doohickeys.
Episode 59.
Oh, it's getting tougher. It's getting
tougher. It's the Roger Pavlik episode.
Who?
Roger Pavlik.
Okay.
No, Roger Pavlik. You could say who about a lot of the numbers that I throw out here for Rangers.
I can say who
Roger
about
Pavlik.
whoever I want.
Roger Pavlik was a Rangers mainstay.
Okay.
From 91 and 98.
Okay.
Ish, around there.
Sure.
It's great. You could also go with Clay Rapata. Clay Rapata.
There's a name.
Clay Rapata was his lasting claim to fame will be that he was put on the roster, the playoff roster, for the 2010 ALCS against the Yankees, and his one job, the only reason he was on, was to get Robinson Cano out.
Yeah.
And I don't think he ever did. I think Robinson Cano went like 4 for 4 against him.
To be fair, that sounds pretty tough.
But Clay Rapata also had a big strikeout of Marcus Thames, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
We are DCTF Live. We are here every weekday at noon talking football in the state of Texas. A little later, we're going to have some off-topic Friday, or as you called it, Mail It In Friday. We got a great question about a reality show we'll talk about.
This is good. This is a good one.
We're also going to talk a little bit of recruiting here in a moment, but first
Your
of
favorite.
all, oh yeah. But first of all, paging Dr. Boy, Dr. Birthday Boy.
Oh no.
Oh yes, it's the Max Thompson Birthday Show. Yeah! Woo! Happy birthday, buddy.
The level of hatred I hold for you right now is very
You
high.
go get a Fudgy the Whale from Carvel?
No.
Everybody be sure to wish Max Thompson, at Max Thompson on Twitter,
Really?
a happy birthday. It's
You
his
know this is
birthday.
going to come back to get you.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I'm comfortable
All right.
with that.
All right.
I mean, you've got family in town.
Yeah, I do.
We've got a live studio audience. Your
Yeah.
brother Spencer's watching.
Yeah.
All for you. All
Yeah.
for your
Okay.
little bitty birthday.
You're starting to creep me out.
Aw, you gonna wear a little party hat? Be great. Be a little party.
How is it I am always the one that reminds you we need to talk football on this show?
I don't understand what your problem is. We're having a good time.
We're having a great time.
We're talking.
The time will get even better if we move on to football talk.
You mean move on to anything besides the fact that
This is a football show, is it not?
This
is a football show, is it not?
I don't know. There would be people who would argue about that. We are DCTF Live. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. If you ever miss a show, you can get in touch. You can get them all there. So we're going to continue to hawk this thing. I mean,
Yes,
we might as
please
well
buy the magazine.
We might as well continue to do it. Texas Football Rising.
Yeah.
It's replacing our winter edition. We've turned the winter edition into a recruiting guide. And inside, if you haven't seen, we break down a lot of players. More than 400, actually, across the state from 2016 to 2017 to 2018 to 2019. It's a big, 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 great recruiting guide. And while last night on Twitter was an example of what not to do if you cover recruiting, we're going to cover recruiting in a more holistic fashion here.
Sure.
And one of the things, we are now about a week and a half out from signing day. It's February 3rd, so mark your calendar. We'll have a lot more recruiting talk in the days and weeks to come. But for now, we wanted to take a look. We kind of took a look earlier in the week at the players.
Yeah.
Now we're going to take a look at the teams. And there are 12 FBS teams in the state of Texas, as you know. And they've all got recruiting classes that are lining up. Classes that are kind of putting together their classes. And so we figured we would look at the teams and how they're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
Right now.
I get to do the big caveat, right?
The huge disclaimer.
Verbal commitments are non-binding.
Yes.
People who cover recruiting are covering information that literally means nothing until February 3rd. That is the truth of the matter.
Yes.
Again, verbal commitments are
Non-binding.
non-binding. A kid can change his mind at any point, at any moment, up until he puts pen to paper on February 3rd.
And as we've seen with Michigan, so can the team.
Yes, that's pretty crappy. Anyway, so we figured we would take a look at the best recruiting classes as presently constructed in the state. We'll start with some honorable mentions who don't make our top three. I like what Texas Tech has put together. Tech has put together a very nice class. It's a big class. They've already got 26 commitments, which is
a lot.
I believe the most in the state, including they've got a couple of community college kids on campus.
Yeah.
But right now, the stars of this class are T.J. Vasher, the wide receiver from Wichita Falls Rider, who's been a star for them for a couple of years. And then they've actually done, and another wide receiver, Antoine Cox-Wesley, and Bryson Denley. You wonder how much the Sybil of Steel connection with Mike Jinks, who is now left to go become the head coach of Bowling Green.
Will that pipeline remain? Although they've got commitments for a couple of years, I think, from that group.
They have. But Antoine Cox-Wesley and Bryson Denley also heading there. But I'm also very excited about the defensive guys they've got. Because obviously that's the big question for Tech. They're always going to score.
Big hurting spot.
But Joseph Wallace, the big defensive tackle from Dallas Skyline,
big deal.
is a big deal. So is Jordan Brooks, the linebacker from Houston Stratford. He was that Stratford defense was outrageous, and he was a big reason why.
Yeah.
DeMarcus Fields from Taylor, a small school guy that if you're into the small school type thing, he's a great catch for them. Braden Stringer, the linebacker out of Cy Ranch. Houston Miller, the defensive end from Keller. Of course, this guy, Jet Duffy, also going there. But overall, it's a big, I think, good class.
And really balanced, as Mike Craven wrote on our site. I think it was like 4 defensive linemen, 4 linebackers, 4 defensive backs or something like that. So they've kind of reinforced in every area of that defense in the hopes that it will get a lot better.
And then there is also in our honorable mentions is Houston.
H-Town takeover.
And a lot of this has to do, first of all, I think they've done a remarkable job recruiting in and around the Houston and Southeast Texas area. If you look at the big guys that they've got, first of all, there's the big one, which is Ed Oliver, the defensive tackle from Spring Westfield. He had choices to go anywhere in the state, anywhere in the nation. And he's staying in Houston, which is a big deal. His teammate Tyree Cleveland, the big wide receiver, is staying there as well. So is Courtney Lark, the wide receiver from Houston Bel Air. But it's a lot of the other guys from the Houston area that really catch my attention. Colin Wilder, the safety from Katy. I mean, part of a legendary defense at Katy. De'Eric King from Manville, an athlete-type guy who I'm interested to see where he lands. I don't think he's a quarterback at the next level, but he's got skills all over the field.
Never know.
Keenan Murphy, the big offensive lineman from Crosby. I know the Crosby coaches have been telling us about him for years and years and years. Dixie Wooten, the offensive lineman from Houston Lamar. It's a good class where they took guys from around their neighborhood and put together an excellent class. Those are our honorable mentions. But the top three classes right
here's
now,
where it gets
in my
juicy.
opinion.
Start with number 3.
Number 3, TCU.
All right.
TCU has a number of headliners. Specifically, a lot of excellent community college guys.
Yeah.
They've done an excellent job cleaning up getting old quickly.
Right.
A lot of guys from there. But if you're looking for the stars on the high school level, Siwo Olanulia, I'm sorry, Siwo, you're awesome, from Kingwood, an athlete type that they could play a lot of different places. I would be interested to see if he ends up sticking at safety for them. But they've also done a good job. They've also done an excellent job of getting some guys who I think. So one of the things with TCU, let me hit the reset button.
All right.
One of the things with TCU
is
that they built themselves by being the guys who took the gems, the diamonds in the rough, and polished them.
Yeah.
The guys that everybody else was ignoring.
Right.
Well, now they can get the top tier guys. But I think what has interested me is that they're still looking for those diamonds in the rough.
Right.
So they've got Isaiah Chambers from Houston MacArthur, defensive end who's a star. They've got Brennan Wooten, the quarterback from San Angelo Central. But then they've got guys who I think are super interesting and could end up being the real stars here. Guys like Fort Worth Paschal athlete Dylan Thomas, who was everything to that Paschal team. Pflugerville-Henderson defensive back Keyshawn Somerville, a guy I've been high on all year. Mansfield Summit defensive back Vernon Scott. There are guys here that I think are sleepers, that they've still found a way to keep that identity of being, we're going to be the program we're going to be the program that gets those guys that nobody's paying attention to and turn them into stars. We're just also going to supplement those with the guys like Isaiah Chambers, and Darius Anderson, the George Ranch running back that they got a commitment from.
Well, and then they just got the commitment from Ross Blacklock too.
Yeah.
At the U.S. Army All-American Bowl. So those are big late commitments. The Anderson one as well.
Number 2. And to me, this is 1A and 1B really.
Yeah.
Number 2, I'm going to go with A&M.
Okay.
For all the things that have surrounded Kevin Sumlin of past years, the one thing you can never question is that he can bring in a highly touted recruiting class.
Yes.
And this looks like another one.
Yeah.
Justin Matabuke from the defensive end from McKinney North is a superstar.
Yeah.
Austin Anderson,
yes,
the offensive lineman from Mineola, and his brother. I'm sorry. Actually, no. They don't list his brother as being. Oh, I'm sorry, Riley. Yeah, Riley. He's there. I'm sorry. I was looking for him.
It's all right.
Kellen Deesh, the offensive lineman from Byron Nelson in
Yes.
the Trophy Club Northwest ISD area. But they have done an excellent job. But what I'm really excited about this is that they've got offensive playmakers who I think could make an impact right away. Okay. Especially at the running back position, where they're going to be pretty thin next year.
And they've struggled the last couple.
They need running backs. Rakeem Boyd from Houston Stratford, and then Travion Williams from Houston C.E. King. Travion Williams was nowhere. He was just a guy before 2014, and then he burst onto the scene, and he is a superstar with speed to burn. I think they've got a lot of guys like that, and then a lot of kind of underrated guys. Charles Oliver from Fairfield's a guy.
For sure, he's a good one.
I've been high on for quite a while. I like this class altogether. Defensively, there's some nice pieces there. Alton Robinson from Converse Judson probably stands out. Him and Matabuke.
Yeah.
Death taxes and being able to recruit pass rushers. I still want to see them pick up another linebacker. They got a linebacker from Tennessee that I'm not familiar with. I'm sure he's great, but I want to see them pick up linebackers because they're still just wildly thin at linebacker. But A&M's class, as presently constructed, is at least second best in the state. If you want to say they're the best, I can't really argue with you. But for me, I think the best recruiting class in the state right now belongs to Baylor, and I think that they have been a perfect example of how you can take recent success on the field and translate it into recruiting success.
Paying off in dividends now.
Between guys who are already on campus, like Zach Smith, the quarterback from Grandview, and Trendavian Dixon, the record-setting wide receiver from Navasota.
Yeah.
And you think that he's going to get some time early? I mean, he's going to see it.
He stood out probably more than any Texas player in that Army American Bowl game.
And the other thing that you notice, and this won't be a surprise to anybody who follows Baylor,
yeah,
there's speed all over the field. this
It's
recruiting
ridiculous.
class. Devin DuVernay might be one of the fastest players in the state. Cameron Martin, the running back from Port Arthur Memorial, is a burner.
Right.
Grayland Arnold from Kuntz. If you haven't seen him, he's a small school guy who's super underrated, and another kid who can absolutely fly. Denzel Mims from Dangerfield. Dangerfield had a bad year this year, but Mims was one of the shining stars there.
Right, and the Dixon guy we already mentioned.
Yeah, Dixon, pretty fast. Keenan Ivey from Lancaster. Raleigh Tejada from Frisco Centennial.
Yeah.
Jared Atkinson. All these guys can straight up fly. They've got playmakers all over the field.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Defensively, they've got some guys coming in like Brandon Bowen from Byron Nelson. We mentioned Grayland Arnold. Deontay Williams, the linebacker from Plano Prestonwood. I've had people tell me that he is the real gem in this class that nobody's paying attention to.
Yeah.
But I think that overall right now, and again, verbal commitments are non-binding. But right now, I think it's either Baylor or A&M have the best recruiting class as presently constructed in the state. Now, that can change.
Yep.
Because, again, non-binding.
Nope.
But right now, I think those are 1 and 1A in some sort of regard.
Yeah.
With TCU just barely behind it, and those other two,
Sure.
Houston and Texas Tech right behind that. You know what's funny? You know who we didn't mention?
No.
It's Texas. Yeah. And
how could you?
Now, we'll talk about this next week, but there are rumblings that there's a late signing day.
It's going to be a late close by Charlie.
Close.
He's going to nail 4 big guys, and they'll have one of the best classes.
We'll talk about that next week. I have my doubts, but we will see.
If it happens, it'll be something else.
We will see. Absolutely. We are DCTF Live. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. All fun stuff. And now, Max.
What we've all been waiting for.
Birthday talk.
No. It's Off Topic Friday.
Off Topic Friday. We need. By the way, if you are a musician and you
we
want
need some
to,
Off Topic Friday music,
and you want to write a theme song for Off Topic Friday, we will gladly credit you every time we use it. So
I bet the Whalers who do our closing music, at least a couple of the guys would be happy to come up with some ridiculous Off Topic Friday music.
Greg.Tepper at TexasFootball.com is where you can get in touch with me or follow me on Twitter at DCTF. But it is Off Topic Friday, and before we get to our main topic for Off Topic Friday, I want to read you an email that I got.
Okay.
So I don't know if he wants me to use his name, so I won't. I will. But a guy got to me on Twitter last night.
Okay.
And it was if you ever want a tweet that will get my attention, just phrase it like this. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, come on, where are you? I'm sorry. Let's see. The tweet was, I have a weird story to tell you about Dave Campbell's Texas football keeping me out of jail in Nebraska.
Oh.
All right. I will absolutely.
I'm listening.
You have my attention.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he wants me to use his name, so I won't, but I will read you this email. On November 5th, 1998, my brother, my father, and I met in the Kansas City airport to drive to Lincoln, Nebraska to watch A&M against Nebraska the next day. We got killed. These A&M.
Right.
After checking into the hotel, we were asked where the local alumni, meaning Cornhuskers, hung out, and we got the name and the address of a place that was very similar to what you'd find in No Frills, Arlington or Fort Worth.
Right.
That's fine.
Sure.
A nice, rather unassuming place. My brother and father are outgoing types, so they engaged the next table over in banter about the game. We're all Aggies. A man introduced another younger man as the greatest athlete in Nebraska history from Texas. And I said, well, that makes you Aaron Taylor from Burke Burnett, and you won the Outland Trophy. And it was, in fact, him.
Nice.
He couldn't believe that, number one, anybody knew of Burke Burnett. Yeah. And number two, anybody would know a lineman. Well, Dave Campbell's Texas Football told me about it.
Yeah.
We asked to join. We asked him to join us, and he said that he would take us to and get us to all the spots in Lincoln, and he did. From 8 until almost 2 in the morning, he was with us, getting out of the rental car tow yard and stepping in with police just by being Aaron Taylor.
Wow.
He is a bad A. My parents, I'm 49 now, have gotten Christmas cards still over the years from him. He's a sweet man, and that would make a very good Where Are They Now segment. While with him, we never paid for a drink.
That's amazing.
We somehow wanted to buy him one, but he insisted his Texas friends get one too. Great man. Pretty funny, right? That's the kind of stories that I love about this magazine.
That's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing.
Is that he was with us getting out of the rental car and getting the rental car out of the tow yard and stepping in with police just because he was a Nebraska legend, and he was, of course, from Burke Burnett, a small town in kind of North Texas. But, Dave Campbell's Texas football kept this guy out of jail.
That's wow.
Pretty great.
Okay.
Pretty great. I figured you would like that.
That's pretty awesome.
Nice little start to Off Topic Friday. So, we got a question. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF, and every Friday we'll ask for questions and topics for Off Topic Friday.
Sure.
And it can be football related. It cannot be football related. That's the whole point of Off Topic. And so, we got a question from our friends at Sports AHS. I believe it was Avi Zalian, who I saw last night at the Stars game. He says, if you had to pick 5 Texas high school football coaches to live in a house together and make a reality show, which 5 do you pick? So this is interesting.
This is a loaded question.
This is a very loaded question, and I think to start, you've got to establish what you're looking for in a reality show.
Something very entertaining, obviously.
Something entertaining, and I think the most entertaining that you can get is when you've got a lot of different types of people living together.
Yes.
Okay. That's kind of what I'm going for.
But you want unique, very distinct personalities as well.
I think so.
Which isn't to say the coaches we leave out of this are all the same.
No.
But I think they would all probably agree the guys we're going to pick are their own guys.
Yeah, I think so. So, I've got my 5. Okay. Let me make sure I've got my 5. Yeah, okay, I've got my 5. So, we're going to start with, I think you need one, it's going to be a Texas high school football reality show.
Right.
You need a legend.
Okay.
I
think that's fair.
You need a legend. A guy who's kind of, been around the block, a guy that's kind of the respected. He's the one who has everybody's respect there.
Yeah.
I go with Phil Danaher at Corpus Christi.
Okay.
The winningest active coach in the state. I think that I would go with Phil Danaher, a guy who's been around the block. He's been around 40-plus years.
Right.
Like I said, the second winningest coach all time, the winningest active coach. I think you need that guy to give you some gravitas.
Sure.
To give you a little bit of leadership.
Okay.
And then we are in Texas, so we got to have a good old boy.
Okay. All right.
My good old boy.
Yeah.
One of my favorite coaches, and we got to get him on the show soon. Delbert Kelm from Crawford.
Yeah.
Okay. If you've ever heard this guy.
All right.
This guy is as Texas as it gets.
Right.
I mean, it is impossible to be more Texan than Delbert Kelm. He's just got this drawl, and he'll talk on forever, and just the nicest guy. I think he'd be a great fit in that house. Okay. Then I think you need a young guy.
Okay.
You need a young guy, an up-and-comer, a relative new guy. I go Jeff Rayburn from Frisco Lone Star.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
Probably he'd be the guy who's like trying to make friends. Like, hey, I'm the youngish guy from here.
Right.
What about that? What about me? The guy who you root for to fit in.
Sure.
Then you need the popular guy.
Everybody loves this guy. When he gets here, everybody's
Joey McGuire at Cedar Hill.
Joey McGuire.
Got to put him in there.
Sure.
Because he'd be the life of the party.
Yeah.
He'd be the guy.
Joey's here.
Exactly. He's that guy.
Yeah.
And then, the most important part of a reality show, and you know where I'm going.
I think so.
You got to have a wild card.
You do have to have a wild card.
You got to have a wild card.
You
have to have a person that marches to the beat of their own drummer.
Yeah.
You have to have a person who some people like, some people may not like.
Yeah.
But a guy who's going to be a divisive figure, a guy who is decidedly his own guy.
Mm-hmm.
Love him or hate him,
yep.
He's decided his own guy. Do you know where I'm going?
I think so.
Jason Herring at Refugio.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
I think you got to get Jason Herring.
You got to have Jason in there
because he is a brilliant coach, and he decidedly does things his own way, and he won't apologize for it.
Nope.
And he shouldn't.
Nope.
He does things his own way. And so that's mine. Danaher, Kelm, McGuire, Rayburn, and Herring. I think you put all of them together.
That's a pretty good group.
I'd like to see if I could get like 6 or 7. maybe like the quiet, the quiet brooding type. Maybe a guy like Willie Williams at Waco La Vega.
Sure.
I could go with a guy if you're looking for another fiery type guy. Maybe Reginald Samples, who's now at Duncanville.
Right.
I think there's a few different places you could go. If you wanted another veteran, Tony Villarreal down at Weslaco.
Right.
You've got options. But
Yes.
for me, Larry Hill would be a good choice from Smithson Valley. He'd be entertaining. But I think those are my 5. Dan Herkelm, Herring, McGuire, and Rayburn.
Those are pretty good.
Yeah?
Those are pretty good.
Who's on your list?
A few of those were on my list. One that I think that some of them fit the profile that you mentioned for some of your guys.
Okay.
I think your old school, distinct Texan.
I think you got to have that, right?
You got to have that guy, Cornell Thompson.
Not a bad pick.
Just for the one-liners of old Texas wisdom that you know are going to come, the things that people have been saying for 100 years in Texas about every freaking situation there is, he's got them all.
Got it. Agreed. That's a good choice.
I also think he'd probably be like half paying attention to what everyone else is do, and that would be funny to me.
Yes.
So I think that would definitely be, he's got to be on that list. Terry Crawford at Abbott.
Yeah.
He keeps it 100, man.
He keeps it 100.
Legend. Show legend.
Yeah.
He's already a legend on this show.
Already a legend
he
on
would
this
be
show.
a legend on that show.
And if you want that 6-man flavor in there, you can do a lot worse than Terry Crawford.
Mr. Popular, Anthony Wood.
Anthony Wood from Round Rock Westwood.
Round Rock Westwood.
Not
People
a
love
bad
Anthony.
pick at all.
Not a
Everybody
bad pick.
likes him. Everybody likes him.
A couple X factors, not still head coaches or in high school coaching,
interesting.
but personalities that I was like, man, if only.
Yeah.
If only you could bend the rules. Number 1, Derek Long, the old Westlake head coach. Yosemite Stam, mustache.
Oh, yeah.
Again, the one-liners, his observations, hilarious. Jess Lepp, now an assistant at SMU, but easily the most entertaining assistant coach I have ever seen. Any position coach. More energy than I would have in 1,000 lifetimes.
Yeah.
Like Chad Morris talks about drinking Red Bulls. I'm pretty sure that is just what Jess Lepp's blood is.
Yeah, it's just, he mainlines
He's just
it.
pure, like, Red Bull and fire.
Just hook it up to my vein!
Yes!
Yeah,
so
I gotcha.
Those are my guys that I would add to the list.
That's not bad. But I think that we're, and we didn't talk about this beforehand, I think we're in line in that you need a variety of guys.
Yeah.
And you need you need certain types.
Yes.
I think that you've got to have the Mr. Popular,
right,
and you got to have the the guys who are going to be the life of the party.
Yeah.
You've also got to have the wild card.
Yes.
You got to have the guy that does things his own way.
Right.
And so I think that there's a few guys out there that you could put out there. I think Todd Dodge would be a good choice.
Be an interesting one, right?
That'd be a very interesting one. But there's I think you've got a lot of different choices. This is it was fun. It was a good question.
That was a great question.
That was a good question.
I'm a little jealous that we didn't come up with it
Remember,
ourselves.
if you've got an off-topic Friday topic, tweet us at DCTF. We will get to them every Friday. So, Max.
So, Greg.
I know you don't want to talk about it, but
why are we still talking about it?
What are you doing for your birthday?
Nothing.
Not anything.
Not doing anything.
Nothing.
Nothing. You're not invited either.
He's doing nothing? I'm talking to Spencer, his brother, who's off camera.
We're not doing anything.
That is.
Sorry.
You don't even want like a nice meal? I mean,
we got pizza last night.
It's your at Grimaldi's?
Yeah.
Was it great?
It was so good.
Yeah. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Grimaldi's pretty good.
We were
pizza.
talking about that.
If Grimaldi's wants to sponsor this,
yes,
we would absolutely let them.
I would eat Grimaldi's
every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
And balloon to 9,000.
It would be worth it.
So worth it.
So worth it.
Oh man, it would be so worth it.
Yeah.
Well, Max, on behalf of DCTF Live Nation, let me tell you, we wish you a very happy birthday. Happy birthday, Max. Remember, tweet him at Max Thompson. Wish him a happy birthday.
I hate you all.
That's going to do it for us. Thank you to everybody for tuning in, spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Vince Young, please come get your Player of the Year trophy. And we will see you Monday, hopefully.
I think so. I think we'll be good.
So we're getting carpet in the new studio.
We will debut the new studio
Hopefully
on Monday.
we will be debuting the new studio on Monday.
All right.
We'll keep you posted. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. That's what we'll let you know. But for now, let's say we will see you on Monday on DCTF Live.